This is No Luck Trucking. I'm Matt, and it is pretty early. It's about 1 a.m. We are 125 miles away from our pickup. So this pickup, we haven't really talked about this load yet. This particular load did not even hit the board. Was posted 0 seconds, never even put on there. This was actually a friend of ours that's on Discord message to ask if we were going to be in Wisconsin, which we happen to be, since our last delivery took us here. And he told us about an agent that he works with frequently that had a load that they were going to post the following day onto the board that picked up not too far away from us and delivers in Pennsylvania, and it pays $5.50 a mile. It is heavy, but that's pretty much the name of the game currently. Is, you know, good rates usually going to be a little bit heavier. This one is not a hazmat. It's the internals of doors, like the insulation and sound deadening, I guess, of the doors. So it'll be interesting, and apparently the weight varies quite a bit by how much moisture is in the air. It's been raining the last few days, so it's probably going to be heavy, but they have a scale on site, so if you are overweight, then they will send you back around and take a pallet off, and they'll send that LTL. We are fueled up fully right now, so we are going to be pretty close to as heavy as we can run, which will be good, because then we don't have to worry about like skimping out on some fuel just to be legal. They'll just have to take a pallet off and send it through an LTL carrier if it is overweight or pretty close to 80,000. So we're gonna get down the road. I'm gonna get over to the place and we'll pick up then. Alright, we're rolling up to the pickup. We took I-41, then some state routes over to I-39 north, and then another state route for a long time. And we're coming up on the pickup. Alright, what's the place called? It's gonna be one of these buildings. I don't know which one. Foremost Farms USA. Probably not that one, right?
Oh, shit, it's just called Base Night or something.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's the next one.
Yeah.
What was the actual street address? Okay. Truck entrance. Oh, that's for Foremost. Okay. Luckily, it's 3 in the morning and there's nobody out here, so we can go as slow as we need.
Arriving
Car
at
check. If
1401 East
anyone's
4th
actually in
Street
there.
on the right.
Well, I guess it would have to be, since there's a gate. Let's see. Do I see a body in the car check? Okay, so there's the scale that they were talking about. Alright, I'm gonna go get checked in, hopefully. I guess see if there's even someone here, and then we'll pick up when we get through the gate. Just checked in, so apparently we gotta back up. We gotta make this right over here by the scale. Let's see, nobody behind me. And then we gotta go down the alleyway. Basically, there's like a street that cuts in between. And instruction, mostly about like what to do with the paperwork and stuff, which don't really like that part. Doesn't help me right now, but all right, let's go exploring. Of a curve, so we'll go around it. Hard to tell. Alright, all the way down, and there'll be a turn over on the left side, and I swing around near the chip dump. So yeah, that giant pile must be the chip dump. Talk about any barricades being in the middle of the road. So there should be an entrance somewhere in here.
All the way to the end, maybe.
Yeah. Are the chips. Alright, there is construction barrels sitting on a pole. Okay. I see. It is a tiny bit tight for that corner, I guess, if you're not paying attention. Alright, so turn in without hitting the poles. Clear that pole. Straighten up. Not hit that pole. Alright. So wave to that guy. Yep, okay. So we go through this way. Congested area, pedestrian crossing. Yeah, at one point he said go around the chip dump, pull over, there's some docks right there. Yeah, then he said like back up somewhere.
So, are we supposed to back into the other dock? That dock?
I think I'm gonna park. Alright, we're gonna go figure it out. Well, it's not the update that we wanted to make. So the whole thing with this load, when we booked it, was the agent was like, let me know exactly when you want to be there so that I can let these guys know so they don't skip your load on sanding it, because they have these like rectangles that are in shape of the doors. They come out of the press and then they sand them down, they palletize them, and then they load them. So we told her that we would like to pick it up at 3. She said, cool, I'll let them know, because that's really the only problem that we have is if your order gets skipped over. So we get here and the guy's like, yeah, we are not done. We haven't even sanded your load. Like, sick. Like, this is exactly what we were trying to avoid. So we left a message for the agent, and then we were just kind of figuring out if it's worth waiting, if we still have time, yeah, I don't know, it's a mess. It's definitely a mess. It's not what we wanted to happen. And so now he's like, I could rush it, but we're in the middle of another order. We have to finish that and then we can get on yours, but it's going to take every bit of 2 to 3 hours, which is not what I wanted to hear. So we're kind of in this in between, because the agent isn't awake to answer the call on what they're going to do, detention or layover or whatever, or if we even want to continue on with this load. We do have a load booked after this, which we'd have to cancel if that's the case. But yeah, we're just, so me and the guy in there agreed that we're going to proceed as if we are going to get loaded. They need to finish what they're working on, get to ours. We're in the dock right now. They let Liz use the restroom, which was the other thing, because like, we're not going to sit here for another 3 or 4 hours with no bathrooms when this shouldn't even be a thing, because we did everything in our power to avoid this, and here we are. So this is like the fundamental breakdown of like dealing with an agent and then dealing with the customer. Is like, who knows, the agent may have contacted somebody in the office that they deal with, but then that person didn't tell this guy. Who knows? I don't know where the breakdown is, and I don't really care, because it's not my problem or responsibility. We're just the ones that get the brunt of it when it doesn't go well. So this reminds me of, if you guys don't watch Novato Trucking and Trails, he did a really excellent video kind of breaking down the times where, like, he's dealing with brokers straight off the spot market, but they told him a window to get there, and they're gonna unload you. It's gonna be quick, easy, you know, bam, 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 pick it up, deliver it, collect your money. But it turned out to be not so much, and he was dealing with the broker, who really doesn't have any obligation or payoff of like helping you through the situation, other than just not wanting him to return the freight. So go over there and watch that channel. Leave a comment, tell them that I sent you over there, and check it out if you want to see what dealing with complete spot market freight's like. We at least have a few different channels in between us and the customer, but I mean, this can happen anywhere. There are several times we showed up back at Prime Days for reefer stuff, and they either didn't have an appointment, or it was like the wrong day, or...
I mean, I'd say it was a million times worse, but also dealing with the lumper yesterday, I was thinking how that was our every single delivery. Like, it was how it is now, where it's like every 30 deliveries maybe we'll have a lumper or have to wait somewhere. It was the opposite at Prime. Every load was like that, and if we didn't have that, it was rare. And now it's rare that we have to deal with lumpers and waiting. But
yeah, and we only have to deal with that because we choose to put ourselves in that position. It's either the best load or it lines up the best.
We're usually getting paid way better when we have to deal with those situations.
That too. So like we know the stuff going ahead of time, but like also this is a perfect example of what I tell everyone all the time is like there's a power dynamic between the driver or capacity owner, you know, like truck owner, whatever, owner operator, whatever class you want to be in. If you have the decision making power, then the agents and then the customers. So right now we have the ultimate power in our situation, because like right now we don't have to be backed up to this door. We don't have to be waiting here for 2 to 6 hours. We can leave. That it's well within our rights. You know, the way the contract's structured, we had our appointment, we showed up, we did our part. There was a failure on the other end, so we're completely able. We're not loaded yet. We have no obligation to continue on with this load. So if we wanted to, right now, we could drive away, go down to the truck stop, try to find a spot, take a nap, wake up in the morning, try to find a load. So right now, we have the most power that we're going to have in the situation that, you know, like this is one of the only times that the drivers have power. So once it's loaded, your ability shrinks. So you don't have a whole lot of good options, and it gets really frustrating because you have to rely on the agent or broker who really doesn't have much of an incentive. They probably have more care for the customer that they're working with than the driver, for sure. So they want to take care of their customer first, and you're just kind of like the secondary. But obviously if you burn enough bridges, no one's going to want to haul your freight. So that's kind of the other thing. I don't think this was intentional. I don't think it was malicious or anything. It just, somebody dropped the ball somewhere and we pay the price for it, which is typical in trucking. You are going to be the one that bears the brunt of anybody's mess ups. But this one's not too bad. I mean, the guy seemed to care about the situation. That he said he wasn't aware, and they normally tell him, and then they pull that one aside and start working on it. But here we are. So right now we're in the door, so obviously no one's going to be jumping ahead of us to get loaded. We don't have to wait on anybody else to get loaded. They're finishing up what they're working on, and then they're going to get to us, so we should be the next one loaded. But apparently this is a trailer full load, so it's not a fast process to sand these parts. So we're going to be here for a little while. Probably will take a nap if I can. I mean, I'm already caffeinated, ready for the day, but we'll pick up when we either get a call back from the agent or figure out what's going on when we get loaded, whatever. If we make a decision to leave, you know, we'll take you guys along. You can see what it's like. So also back to the point of watching Nevada trucking and trails, I also realized that it's way more entertaining to watch somebody else's struggle than to go through it yourself. I was thoroughly entertained by his video, but I also know that punch in the gut feeling when you're in that situation and you have to try to be cool, calm, professional, but still be assertive, and it sucks. But it sucks way less now that we don't have to fight the company that's dispatching us on top of whoever brokered the load and the customer. So I would rather fight directly with the agent or customer than having to fight your own company, because like Prime Inc. was all about their customers. There was never an illusion that they were about their drivers at all. They would side with the customer and sit you for a week if it meant getting brownie points. So. All right, enough rambling. We'll pick up when something interesting happens. Well, it's been 3 hours. I'm up here on the front just trying to check on what's going on, and I see this this loader across the way. It's dumping the wood chips hydraulically to the lift. I haven't seen that. I've only seen that really in like Frito-Lay's does that with whole potatoes to load the hoppers. Take it in, disconnect, puts it on that hydraulic ramp, and it just tilts it. But that's pretty cool. expected it to be unloaded, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Moves pretty quick. Alright, it's pretty loud out here, but just got this strapped down. So these are cores for like doors. It's probably like heavy density fiberboard, just a bunch of wood chips compressed, stamped, and then they sand the edges. It's gonna be heavy. They do have a scale, so we're gonna go scale and see what it weighs. Alright, we're loaded, it's strapped down. So the agent did get back to us, but I don't have high hopes for that. She said that the people knew that we were supposed to be there, and they knew that they were supposed to do our order first. They're saying they didn't. So it's just a big game of hot potato, and everyone wins except for the driver. But we're loaded. I'm pretty sure we can still make the appointment. It's just a little frustrating that, I don't know, especially somebody that got recommended to you by a friend that's worked with this agency and had good experiences. Now that somebody drops the ball and you end up holding the bag. So she's like, so what do you need from me on the appointment? I'm like, nothing really. I think we can still make it, but I'd like some detention time since this is supposed to be ready already. And like, their time to show up was 1 a.m. and she said, I know these guys, it's not going to be ready at 1 a.m. 3 is when it'll be ready. I was like, cool, sign us up for 3. And we're rolling out of here at 7 on a load that should have already been pulled, ready, staged, and thrown on the truck, but it is what it is. So we got to swing around, catch the scale, see how much this weighs. I have to give the paperwork to the guard, and then yeah. So the agent kind of danced around the issue of the detention, saying that this place normally gets 4 hours for loading, which wasn't really told to us, and we didn't really ask because the lady seemed to be very knowledgeable on her stuff. She told us all the details, and just left out that one little minor oops of if they don't have your stuff ready, it's going to be all night. Alright, so we're gonna have to swing wide to try to hit the scale. Alright, so it does have a readout. Alright, so we're gonna have to axle it on our own, it looks like. They don't have a scale that breaks down by axles. Alright, let's see if we can swing wide enough to make the scale. I think we might be able to. Definitely don't want to drive in the dirt over here. Alright. Swing extra wide. Yeah, should be pretty lined up. Now we gotta get the front back over. Alright. Don't end up on Bonehead Truckers or Ron Pratt video. That's the goal in life. Alright. Oh, sick. It doesn't sort it by axle because the readout's up here.
Take the first left.
Yeah. I mean, we can fix that. We can axle it. All right. So, what was that?
I need you to hold it there for me, please.
Okay. Okay, we're over Gross.
Go forward and take off your steers.
$68,200 without the steers.
Take off your drive.
Why is she talking like that? I guess they're gonna axle it out for us. All right, so we're gonna go in. Yeah, it appears that they axled it for us because you can't see the readout, but I know we're over Gross. We're at 80,300, so we get to go back and play some more. All right, we'll pick up in a second. I got to go talk to the guard shack. All right, apparently everybody in this place knows that we've been here all night. Guard shack has said that everybody in the office was talking about it. I guess the agent called and was discussing this with them. And then there was a shift change for security, so she knew that we've been here since 3 and we're over Gross. So we have to go back and they have to take off a pallet or whatever they're gonna do. I don't know. We're 340 pounds over Gross and we're 720 pounds over on the drive specifically. So they're gonna have to take off a pallet. We shuffled the weight around a little bit, so because I'm figuring they're only going to take one of the half stack pallets that are off at the front off. Do you want to let the lady know that we're having to go back to get weight taken off? They loaded us over Gross. This will be fantastically fun since this whole area is blocked now. Yeah, how do I even get in there now? Fun. Fun, fun, fun. Yup. Yeah, I don't think there's enough room to even... I don't even think I can turn around right now. Let's Baby, come over here. Oh, he's gonna move now. Nothing like an off-road adventure, huh? Alright, go open the doors, and then I guess we gotta talk to the people again. Well, the guy didn't seem too shocked when I showed him the scale card that we were over, so they're gonna take a pallet off the back, and we get to go around and rescale again. Fun times. Fun times. I don't know, like, the rate could be really good, but the load can still be absolutely trash, so I think this is kind of where this one's at. It's a good rate. That's about it. Today is the delivery day. We need to go get some fuel, get over there around 2:30 is our appointment, right? 2:30, something like that. Yeah, we're gonna probably roll in a little early and see what it's about. But we did get some resolution on this whole situation. So the agent did call back. Apparently the plant knew that we were on the way and that order should be put first, but they were so far behind on their workload that they hadn't even gotten done with the previous one to get to ours. The company paid us $200 for the like 3 or 4 hours that we were there, over the expected amount of time. So I guess that's good enough. Yeah, the lady apologized. She said it normally doesn't work out that way, and it was really frustrating for her since it was the first time we worked with her, and it didn't set a good example of the type of agent she is. But I told her we don't really blame the agent on something like that, but like the whole like finger pointing that both sides were doing is pretty useless, and it doesn't give us confidence in either side. Let's get these mirrors adjusted, because at the end of the day it really doesn't matter to us who dropped the ball, because you know we're gonna suffer the consequences regardless of whose fault it was. And if you just blame each other, then most of the time that's not a very dependable working relationship. But she agreed, she apologized, they got us paid, which is really the only thing that I care about. I don't care whose fault it was, I just want to know who's going to pay us, and they paid us, so it's all good. I'd probably work with her again. I mean, this load it's heavy, but good rate. And I guess if everything goes like it should, the load is pretty quick.
Turn
loading.
right on Allegheny Boulevard, then take the first left.
Alright, so we're gonna get back onto I-80 East. Gonna drive for a little while, gonna fuel up, and then hit the delivery. Just finished fueling at I already forgot. What was it? Bloomsburg?
Bloomsburg, yeah.
Bloomsburg, PA. The TA over here. So many B names for all the cities on 80. Yeah, we still are on I-80. Just had an interesting interaction while I was fueling this. Yeah, Western Express flatbed guy over here. It looked like he was throwing his ELD tablet on the ground and he was about to stomp on it. And I just didn't pay him any mind. Whatever, you want to throw a tantrum about some electronics, that's fine. Not my business. Then he comes over. He's like, yeah, oh man, do you like your manager? I was like, I don't have a manager. He's like, well, your dispatcher. I was like, nah, man, I don't have a dispatcher either. He's like, what? How do you get loads? I was like, a load board, man. I call and book them. He's like, what? So you just like do whatever you want? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, man, we got tired of somebody in an office telling us where to go and all this. And like, I guess if you're a company driver, you know where to fuel, and all the details of your entire life is controlled by somebody that has never done your job. So I was like, yeah, man, we just got tired of it, got our own truck, and now we just, yeah, do whatever we want. So it's fascinating how you can all do the same job but have vastly different experiences doing it. So when people get into trucking their first year and they're at the mega carrier and things are rough, you know, you got somebody on you all the time telling you to go do this, go do that. I mean, it's a way different job the more freedom you get. So the farther you get detached from having a dispatcher or a manager or somebody on your case, somebody telling you where to go, when, like, the job just gets infinitely better after that. So I feel for the guy, but at the same time, we're all adults. You can make your own choices, and if you want to stay with a company like that, then I always say, man, if your company puts backup beepers on their truck, it ain't the move. But hey, what do I know? Children. All right. Not all right. We're not starting the video with all right. Trucks, office, autos. So office and auto, that, okay, it says don't enter that way. So only one way to go. Safety notice, smoking in designated areas. Okay. Ooh, you'll be barred from the property if you smoke in places that they tell you no smoking. Dang, a ton of Warner trailers here. Geldwin windows and doors. That's the place we want to be because we have door parts. No tractor trailers that way. Man, where do you go to be out of the way? That'd be good. Yeah, at least getting out of this choke point here. Wonder if he's just gonna take off without looking. I'll keep an eye, but shipping, receiving is down this way. You said around the corner of the building? Yeah. Okay. Man, a sea of Warner trailers.
Looks like it's on the opposite side.
Makes sense. Their shipping department over here with all the empty trailers and receiving over here with hopefully some empty docks. What time? 1:24. Yeah, we're an hour.
Yeah, so around this corner right is where it looks like everybody's parked.
I don't want to just park right here along this curb.
Yeah.
That's kind of out of the way.
Yeah. Because the docks are
a lot more open over here. This yard dog is going to catch up and be like, what are you doing? I don't know. Hey, there's a receiving building. Alright. Where'd to go? Where'd to go? Where'd to go? Container receiving. We're not container though. Container receiving. Alright. We will park right here. We are not blocking the way. Let's go get told where to go. In usual fashion, when you go over to receiving, when you are delivering, like you're supposed to, they give you a door back over in shipping, because that makes tons of sense. So we got door 5, which is back over on the shipping side, where all the sea of trailers are. And hopefully it's not too bad. I don't know, just there should be a decent amount of room. We'll see. Either way, we'll make it there. Get a little downhill speed. Gotta hit the Jake brakes in the parking lot. Gotta let them know. Okay. Door 5. Wow, these numbers are 3, 4, 5. Hey, right at the end. Yes. They look like they have survived a house fire. Alright, door 5, the one that's open. They're waiting on us. Yeah, there's plenty of room. We're good. Let's roll down the window, turn on the hazards. Go ahead and one-shot it in there like it's our job. It's currently 1:41 p.m. Our appointment time was 2:30. We're in the dock. Paperwork is up on the things. So it looked like one of them slid a tiny bit, but I also didn't crank down the ratchet because I didn't want to damage the particle board. So it doesn't look like it did any damage, just kind of shifted a little bit, but the strap did catch it. It just wasn't tight enough to keep them all from moving at all, because like I said, I didn't want to damage the stuff. So we are going to see how long it takes, and we'll let you know an update. Well, it's 2:08. We just pulled away from the dock. Can't ask for much better than that before our appointment time and everything. Yep. Liz just went back there to double check. We were watching the light. The red was working, but the green, I guess, was not. So she just got the paperwork, closed the doors. So we're gonna roll out of here, and we'll probably end this at the truck stop. Liz got us up to the Maybrook, TA. They call it something else too. I can't remember the other city that's right next to it. But Maybrook is the biggest one. All of the free spots were taken, which we kind of had an idea that that might happen. So we did get a reserve spot. They're pretty expensive, but we're not broke. The loads are definitely worth paying for it to get closer, so we don't have to drive as much today. Then we're actually going to pick up the next load, maybe try to swing by the house. So we're going to end that video here. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.